Taurus, welcome to Sending Spiritually. So any information on personal readings, my manifestation oils, or the rituals that I do for every new and full moon that are $10 and under, the link for that will be in the description box. So let's see, Taurus. What do you guys need to know at this current time? We have 10 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, the Hermit card, King of Swords, Change with the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hierophant. So some of you, actually a lot of you, have good karma that's due to you, but there is a lot of change going on in your life. This could be physical changes, emotional changes, spiritual changes, like just feeling uncomfortable in general and not necessarily knowing why. Others of you, it's because you have a lot of burdens on your plate, a lot on your back. You're having people that are not collaborating with you, people that are putting more things for you to do and causing more stress in your life than anything else. Like, this is like a lack of teamwork and collaboration. So make sure that you're only dealing with the baggage that is yours, and don't try to take on any extra task or going above and beyond right now, because it's not working out in your favor. And you're in the energy of Hermit, which is like isolation, self-discovery. Even if you are around people, it's like you may not want to deal with a lot of individuals right now. You're kind of just soul searching and looking through yourself for the answers that you need, because from what I'm seeing, there may be something that's hidden from you. Those of you that are in a connection or have been dealing with someone for a while, this person could be a cheater. They may be pursuing other people or keeping you on the back burner. So if you have someone that's making you feel like you're in constant anxiety, you don't know how they truly feel, you don't know where the relationship is headed, they're not very clear about how they feel about you, that is an answer in its own. And so don't waste your time, because you do have people that are going to be honest with you, pursue you, and put in that time, effort, and energy. So make sure that you're not holding yourself back by holding on to people that are just placeholders, especially for you. Like, they're not going to give you anything substantial. And with the Hierophant here, some of you are considering going back to school, doing some sort of studies, advancing, or even like shifting your spiritual views, or even like what you think about society or ideology. So this self-discovery, it comes with learning things, discovering new ways of living, or just understanding things more. So you're kind of in this energy of going through a journey, and a lot of people don't understand you at this current time. Even if you do have peers and friends, acquaintances, it's almost like you're being separated from others because you have a path that's it's like a path less traveled, and you have more to accomplish than a lot of the people that are around you, and you're not even on the same vibration as them. So you may see people leaving your life, exiting out, being pushed out by the universe in some way, being exposed, causing you to not want to be around them, because you're going to see people for who they are around this current time, and it may cause you to feel some type of way. So with the King of Swords, try to just be as truthful and honest as you can, especially if you feel tired. If you feel like, I don't want to do this today, try not to people please at all, because that's not going to work out in your favor. It's just going to make things worse, because you already have a lot of burdens that you're carrying. And if you're used to doing a certain amount of work or taking care of a certain workload, this may be the time where you kind of need to lessen that and make more room for yourself. So loving yourself, having more rest, taking more naps. Because this Hermit energy, it may not look like you're doing anything physically, but your spiritual body and your inner self is going through a lot of transformations, which is going to cause things in your physical life to start to change, where you start to get bored of things that you love to do, where like things that brought you excitement, you don't feel the same way about them anymore. You don't feel the same way about connections anymore. And it's not because those people are necessarily doing something wrong. It's because you're elevating and you're shifting. You're going through some sort of ascension, and it's to make room for new things coming in. Let me get another deck. That way I can get some additional messages and see what do Taurus placements need to know. Also, watch how you're communicating. It's going to be easy to lash out around this time, but just instead of speaking, really just try to listen. The more in control you are of your emotions, the easier it's going to be for other people to expose themselves. So try not to react, because not everything requires a reaction from you. Sometimes it's just time for you to listen. And if you're feeling sad, grieving, thinking about the past, just know it's coming up so that you can purge whatever energy is been dormant within you, because sometimes trauma is stored in the body, and it's not until you go through certain phases in your life that it is released. And with the Devil and the Nine of Swords here, there's some sort of toxicity in your life that needs to be cleared. This is anything that you know that you're doing excessively, and you're fully aware of whatever this is, and you're going to be working through that addiction or whatever that is that needs to be put into moderation, because no one's perfect. We all know that we have certain things that we do that may not be aligned, or that may be harmful to us, but it does take time to kind of release whatever these habits may be. Anything from smoking, drinking, overeating, doing anything excessively, gluttony, even. It could be anything. The Devil energy could be anything. Fear, constantly living in anxiety, like having to train your mind not to be in that vibration anymore. It takes time. And so if you do find yourself backtracking, or if you're trying to get rid of some sort of habit, and for some reason like you just feel weak that day and you go back to it and you relapse, that's okay. Sometimes when it comes to moving forward, it's going to take you relapsing a couple times before you finally make that decision that, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not good for me. I'm removing it from my life. So please give grace to yourself, because nobody is perfect and we're all just learning and experiencing things. But just know that once you get out of this phase, you're going to be in the energy of the Emperor, which is someone who's in control. A person that knows exactly what they want. They have a plan that they want to execute. The Emperor tends to have a business. They tend to have, they tend to govern a lot of either energy, places. You're going to be in a point where you're in control, because the Emperor at times stands on their own, whether you're female or a male. It's like you're not really meant to be around other people. Like, yes, you can. It's like, yes, you can go out with people and cohabitate with them in a sense, but you work best on your own. It's like you have a lot of leadership skills that have yet to be tapped into. And whenever you work on your own, there's less distractions, there's less people bringing you down, and it's just easier for you to get things accomplished. But some of you could be under a lot of stress, whether it's stress from work, finding a job, or just finding like you're being mistreated or not appreciated where you're at, and it's causing you more stress on your shoulders. Don't do anything rash or drastic, and make sure that you have a plan B, or if you have some sort of escape plan, if you're planning on removing yourself from a certain work environment. With the Seven of Cups, a lot of things are going to become clear. You're going to be seeing people for who they are, because certain people only come around you when it's beneficial for them, but when you need somebody, it's like, where are they at? Where's your support system? Because you tend to be a support system for a lot of people, but you also grieve and go through things on your own. And this may also be a toxic trait, where when you need help, you have a hard time asking for it, or you feel like you may be bothering people. But we all need a helping hand at some point in time. I also feel like there could be some sort of like, I don't want to say magic, but like, it could be dark magic, it could be spell work, it could just be your environment, where you're in an environment that's not conducive for you, for your growth. You could be in an environment that has a lot of witches, that has a lot of like warlocks, that has a lot of spell work that goes on, and sometimes that tends to affect you. You may even be living like in a condo, apartment complex, or neighborhood that's not beneficial for you, because everyone in your area is karmic, or everyone in your area is low vibing, and you're trying to like better yourself, and you don't understand why you keep relapsing, or why it's so hard for you to move forward. And it's because sometimes it's because of your location. And I understand this more than anybody, because I feel like I'm like the only light worker within like 10 to 20 miles of where I live at, and the energy of where I live is really dense. And every time I'm out of town, or I'm in an area that's not where I'm at usually, it just feels lighter. It feels like people are nicer, people are more high vibing. So that may even be something that you are going through, and you're not understanding why that is. But with the Queen of Cups, don't change who you are. You're very loving, caring, nurturing, compassionate, someone who is warm, comfortable in their femininity. Even if you are a man, it's like you're comfortable in your emotions. Psychic, healer, listener, good mom, good dad, a daydreamer, romantic, secure. And it's just a matter of like knowing who's worth you giving that energy to, because not everyone is worthy of your love. Not everyone is worthy of seeing that soft side of you, of seeing that underbelly, because most people will take advantage of that. So it's just like knowing and learning how to gauge how much of your time and energy you give to people. And I also feel like you're going to be learning how to sort people for what they're good for. And it's not saying that people are just like tools. It's like sometimes you don't have to cut people off all the way. You just have to be able to categorize them. Like, this is the type of person I go out with and have fun with, but I don't tell them my inner thoughts. I don't try to tell them things about myself. This is the type of person I can work with, I can collaborate with on a professional setting, but personal life, nah, that's not going to work out. And that's actually something that I've I've had to learn as well, is that like sometimes you don't have to cut people off. You just have to kind of know where they can meet you at, and try not to have too much expectations of them, because then you tend to be disappointed, and people can only meet you at the level of where they're at. So sometimes you have to show grace. And with the Eight of Wands, there's going to be communication coming in. Some of you could be traveling, whether it's to another city, state, country, whatever it may be, but you're going to be out more, needing to go out in nature more, needing to get more sunlight, especially if you're in an area where right now you're in winter. Sunlight is going to be very important, because vitamin D does affect a lot of things, whether it's mood, your bodily processes. So try to go out and get sunlight as much as you can, and it will make the difference. And even if you are feeling sad, discontent, grieving, allow yourself to feel that energy without trying to like drown it out, because most people, it's hard for them to recover from past situations because they don't allow themselves to feel the pain. They don't allow themselves to, you know, have it come up to the surface. They want to just push it down or cover it with something, some sort of substance, and that doesn't actually help you heal at all. So with Taurus, last message, what do you guys need to know at this current time? Four of Wands. Yeah, you're working through stability, or your home life is going to be highlighted during this time. Even if you may be feeling imbalanced, whether it's financial imbalance, juggling too much, having so many responsibilities that you have to basically work through it, just know that you're in control. You are so much stronger than you really think. And once you get put into positions that requires you to kind of tap into who you really are, when you're in stressful positions or situations, that's really when your true self comes out. So I feel like that's going to be highlighted to you in some way in the future. So don't be opposed to resistance. Don't be opposed to someone challenging you, because those challenges, I feel like, are what is going to make you be strong. And continue to put work, time, effort, and energy into your job, into your blessings, into whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And even if you have been feeling stifled, or if your creativity has been down, it's not going to be for long. And also make sure you pay attention to where you're putting your sexual energy into, because that does have a part to play. If you're celibate, that comes with its own perks, where you can hone in on that sacral chakra energy all for yourself. There's no one siphoning it from you. And if you're in a connection that's equally yoked, you and your partner will kind of, you know, juggle that energy back and forth. But if you're putting that into someone who is not for you, who's not really invested in you, if anything, you just become more depleted. And if you look at things from that type of perspective, it kind of like makes you more aware of who you're giving your energy to, especially when it comes to your physical body, because you are kind of just like a conduit on your own. And certain people want to come into you, literally, just so they can siphon your energy. But try not to feel defeated, even if failure is like the best teacher. And everyone goes through situations of failure, or they have to pivot, or they have to rethink and go back to the drawing board. So that does not mean that something's wrong with you, or that you aren't able to accomplish things. It just means that it's a learning moment that you have to go through. So that's the end of your reading. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.